Sean McVay yesterday in the postgame press conference gets a little snippy with a reporter for asking the most obvious question that everybody would ask. It just was a matter of who's going to ask it first.
So let's play the sound. We have the sound from
John, do you expect Matthew Stafford to be back next season?
Yeah, if he still wants to play, what the hell kind of question is that? The answer, yeah. He's the MVP of the league, and if he's not, I got respect for everybody else, but this guy played at a level that's just different. I appreciate you guys this year. Thank you.
Yeah, Cap, I honestly have no issue. I get you got to ask that question. I would not. I don't think that's the time and place. We've done this thing in the past where it's just because we used to do that and ask those questions, when those questions can be answered when they do their exit interviews in a couple days, I think that's more the time and place, not when you just lost a heartbreaker on the road to go to the Super Bowl. We should evolve as a media society to know that you're going to get another crack at McVay here in a couple days. You can ask him all those offseason questions then.
But I would just say this, that the question wasn't, do you think Matthew Stafford will be back? And it wasn't, do you want him back? Because that's obviously, of course I want him back. Did you just see the season he had? Of course I want him back. I don't care if he's 37 or 38. If you can play like that, of course we want you back. That's world-class quarterback play right there. That's MVP quarterback play. But the question was, do you expect him back? And to me, somebody was going to ask it. Whether we evolve or we don't evolve, or right question or wrong question, but still.
I get it. It's not. I'm not making a huge deal out of it, but you're going to get another crack at him in a couple of days, and you can ask all those off-season questions then. I don't think that just seems to me like something we could speculate about. We're talk show people. It's great for our business. I get it, but I'm looking at it from the perspective of the head coach. I just lost the game. And by the way, that's serving against my own interests here as someone who hosts a talk show in LA and does talk shows on TV. That is serving against my own interest. However, I do think that if I'm being empathetic towards the head coach, that is the last thing on my mind right now.
Well, the same thing happened to Stafford where they asked Stafford about him coming back to play. And he's like, look, guys, I can't really process the last 6 months of my life 10 minutes after a game. And I get that.
Yeah.
But again, I'll just say this. There's nothing wrong with the question.
And that reporter, I don't know who the reporter was.
Nor do I. And I don't know if that person will be
and
at the
maybe
exit
that person
interviews.
is not someone that'll be there in a couple of days at the exit interviews. But those questions will be asked in a lot more detail in a few days.
Right, and that's why, for me, I don't have a problem with the question, and I just wish that – and look, I get it. You just lost. You're heartbroken. As Coach McVay, I thought, put it very well. He said, listen, I was not ready to be done working with this group. They really, really were locked in and believed that they were going to win this game. Why wouldn't they have believed that? The two previous games were 1 point and 2 point games. They were incredibly close games. But I do think that the most obvious question, it is obvious, is do you expect Stafford to be back? By the way, answer for me, of course he's going to be back. Had he won the Super Bowl and he could have ridden off into the sunset, maybe he wouldn't have come back. But not winning the Super Bowl, I'm telling you right now, 1,000% Matthew Stafford will be back to play for the Rams next year. But for Coach McVay to ask what the hell kind of question is that? Here's the kind of question it is, Coach. It's the obvious question, and it's the same question that everybody else was going to ask, and everybody wants to know.
I get it, man. But, okay, I understand what you're saying. I'm just telling you, you're surprised by his reaction to that?
I don't like all these coaches that now get to also analyze the questions as well. They're like, hey, you're a coach. You coach football. I'm a reporter. I ask questions. Now you criticize my questions?
Again, time and place. You're going to look, man, I've been in those positions where I've had to ask tough questions, and it's not easy. I'm not criticizing the reporter as much, but if that reporter, whoever it is, I don't know who it is going to get the opportunity to talk to him in a couple of days, then you probably just sit back and wait on that one.
Yeah, I just figure
because that's the answer you're going to get. You're going to get the snippy answer if that's the case. because, again, he just lost the game. Okay? Like, I'll give you an example.
Yeah, I expect him back. Yeah.
At the national title game, okay, when Indiana won, there was a 20-minute cooling off period for the Miami team that lost. They took like 30 minutes before they came out. And I think that we get these answers, and it's great for business, don't get me wrong. Like, we're playing it, we're going to play it, we're hearing it, it's going to probably get played a million times over. I just get McVay's point, too, okay? And I've been in the actual shoes of the person asking that question. I've asked that type of question. But I've learned over 20-plus years in the industry of saying to myself, yeah, you know what? I can ask that question in 3 days.
Well, I don't know who asked the question. I don't know if that person will be in the exit interviews or not. But here's what I do know. That there are however many reporters standing there, and if they get the opportunity to ask, they're going to ask.
We make ourselves more important than we need to be at times in that regard. Like, that's just – it's I don't know. Like,
to me, it was obvious. I mean, somebody was going to ask.
Okay, I get it. Just because someone was going to ask doesn't mean necessarily.
No, but he knows
the question
it's coming.
that should be asked at that given moment.
Well, let me ask you a question. You had no problem with the little old lady saying, "Keep your head up," right? That was nice. Oh, she's so sweet. Oh, she's a member of the community. Oh, look at her. She's so nice. Everybody's like, "Oh, that's okay." Half the people were like, "That's inappropriate," and the other half of the people were like, "Who really cares?"
Well,
in this particular case, it's an obvious question, and he knew it was coming.
Well,
so did Stafford. So, just say, yeah, expect him to be back.
The little old lady was a little different because I said, and I didn't have an issue with it. Like, if she would have asked that question and I would have been in the room, I wouldn't have cared. But I'm also not on a deadline, right? Like, so I think that's different. It's not really an apples to apples comparison because we were talking about writers literally having a specific deadline they have to hit. So that's slightly different. But I'm just telling you from the point of view, maybe it's just me. Like, maybe I've just realized that over time, these questions can be asked in a different forum, and you'll get a more thoughtful answer than just the way he reacted. And to me, you should strive as someone in the business, not for the instant reaction, gotcha moment, and you should you should strive for the more thoughtful opportunity to get the best answer possible. And maybe
Sedano,
to that person, that is the best answer possible because it's going to get, played 6,000 million times over and over again.
What the reporter should have asked? Coach,
sorry, what's that?
What the reporter should have asked?
Oh, God.
Sedano, should Chris Shula come back or do you want him fired?
Wow.
Do you want him to take a head coaching job?
How about this? How about if he would have said this? Coach?
I know it's a simple take, Coach.
No, but how about this? Okay, Coach, you didn't like my question about do you expect Matthew Stafford to be back? You asked me what the hell kind of question is that? So you know what? I'll follow your question with another question. How's this, Coach? Do you expect, same language, Chris Shula to be back next year?
And by the way, Cap,